Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, let's do a quick warm up before we get moving, do some balance or kind of stance work, and then we're going to get into that flow with ward off, roll back, press, and push. So shoulders width apart. Right now, before we get started, I want you to feel the connection left and right. Okay, so remember, this connection and this feeling of being rooted to the ground builds our whole foundation for Tai Chi. So relax the feet, feel the whole foot connected. So if we have our knees in, that weight turns into the arch. If we're too far, it's the sides. Same thing forward and back, toes and heels. Find center. Center of both feet, but also center so that the weight's not too far on one side or the other. Super important. Then we think about our lower back. So if we lock out the legs and we have that arch in the lower back, we're cutting off circulation and energy. We want to soften the knees, soften that lower back, and lift through the crown of the head. Let's start with a gentle circle of the neck. So chin to chest, ear to shoulder, and a small circle with the nose, ear to the other shoulder and around. Just a few circles here. Nice deep breaths. You stop with the chin to the chest and then you go the other direction. Let those shoulders hang down a little bit more. Find that space through the neck area. Chin comes to chest. Drop it down. Drop those shoulders a little bit more and then come back up. All right, moving into those shoulders, you can alternate them. You could roll them together. You could do big arm circles. Whatever feels good for your body right here in this moment in time. How can you get that energy flowing through the shoulder blades, the spine? Everything's getting warmed up and ready for practice. We'll go the other direction. Same 3 options, alternating together or large. You can always do a combination, right? You can kind of move and change and just see what feels best. All right, let's do a couple going back. I feel like we always need a few more this way. And then we'll shake them out. Let them find neutral, so it means just hanging down. And then we're going to turn from the middle body. So feel that the waist leads those arms. So the palms will strike lower back or belly, whatever feels good. But the speed of your waist and spine turning leads that movement. Couple more circles, side to side. Let your head follow the torso direction. And then slowly ease off. So ease off that turning from side to side. And then come back. All right, hips and then knees and ankles. So quick warm up. Big circles around. Maybe really leaning into it. Back the other direction. And then center. All right, knees and ankles or neck. So just bringing them together, small, lowering down, and a little turn. Circling, small circles, other direction, just warming up through both joints. And then release. Come up, shake them out. We're going to add that opening of the hips. So if you want to hold on to something for stability, we're going to lift and open to the side. So just a few rounds, kind of trying to think about opening. Find that stability by holding on to something or just lifting through the crown of the head, picking a point to stare at. One more on this side, and then we'll switch. So stepping, ground or root, and then stand up and touch. So nice hip opening. Remember, it's that opening to the side that gives you that Stretch here. One more. And release. Shake them out. Okay, we're going to get right into it today. So we've been doing a lot of waist turning. So let's just review that upper body shape. Remember, okay, nice big arms, okay? When we're here, not too much rounding, but we want to relax, right? And the elbows hang down. It's the difference of being here versus here, right? So little weights, yes, pulling down. When we're here, shoulders come up. So remember, when the arms are up, we just want to have everything a little bit relaxed, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of leg work, a little bit of Tai Chi walking back and forth, talking about that rooting and connecting, because we're going to be shifting our stance today. So let's move back in our spaces. We know what a bow stance is now, okay? We got shoulder width apart. We're going to start, bring that upper body shape so we can bring in all of that waist movement that we've been working on. I'm going to mirror you. So we're going to shift to the left first. And we're going to turn and open 45 degrees. Remember, you're in your own little box. You're going to sink down, and then you're going to step out naturally. So don't reach. Just step heel, ball, toe. Then look, watch the torso, turn as you move forward. So I want you to check. Torso is to straight, but where are the hips? If your hips also turn, then that weight's going to be in your back foot. We want to think about having that weight centered in our feet as if we were standing with both feet straight. Okay, shift back, turn and open the left toes. Pour that weight in, torso is turned. Pick up and then step out. Move forward and turn. Same thing, check. Torso straight, but hips are open, right? So we're not turning. Where's that turn coming from? The waist area, right? All that work on the chairs that we've done. So we're going to keep everything in line. Knees are in line with toe direction. Hips are open. And then our spine is able to turn nice and flexible. And what's going on with the upper body? Light and airy, and it's just enough to hold the arms up in space, right? We're not building tension. Okay, let's go back. All right, so we're going to start shoulders width. Remember, you're going to step on these lines as you move forward. You're going to shift to the right, and you're going to turn 45 degrees. Take a moment, look down and check. How'd you do? Now, when you sink down, both knees stay in line. Torso's facing that corner as well, and you pick up and you step. And then as you move forward, you turn. Check again. Hips are open, torso straight, knees in line. Now shift back, turn, move forward. Pour that weight in, step out. Move forward and turn. Okay, so again, check. We're turning from the waist, right? The waist turns as we move forward, but it's not the hips turning, right? The hips are going to stay nice and open, allowing us to use all the muscles of the legs, and we're going to find that flexibility through our spine moving. So, where do you feel the weight in your feet? Do you feel your whole foot connected to the ground? This is what we want. We want it to be spread open and relaxed. You ever taken a look at your shoes to see where your weight is on your feet when you walk naturally? That'll tell you a lot. You might also notice eventually that you might want a little bit of a wider box or toe area in your shoe so that your foot can relax naturally and spread out and be connected. We want that whole foot touching the ground, okay? Super important. So today, we're going to be shifting from one side to the other. So we're going to work our footwork first. Now we're not going to be moving forward. We're just going to be shifting back and forth. And then we're going to add in arms and all kinds of fun stuff. So let's just work footwork a little bit more before we review the arms that we've been doing. And then we'll add on some new stuff. So focusing on our connection to the ground, all right? So arms up only if it feels good. If you're starting to build tension through the upper body, you can just let them hang down, okay? Shifting to your left, we're gonna turn and open the right toes. Sink down and step out. Now move forward and turn. Okay, now can you shift back? You turn and pick up. Now step to the corner. Relax that right foot, sink down. Step out. This is a great drill for seeing if you're stepping naturally, okay? So remember, when we're moving forward and back, we're not just moving forward and back like this. We're using push and support. So we're connected to the ground and we want to push back. Then we're heavy in the left leg and we can step and turn and relax that left foot, and then we can step out. Touch. Right now, feel connected to the ground, and now push out of that back leg. So feel the difference when you push with that left leg going back, and then you push going forward versus just moving, right? Like I'm still doing a bow stance, but look at the intention change when I use push and support. Okay, so now push back, pick up, step, turn, step out, and then same thing, push and support. So not just forward and back, still a great bow stance, still perfect alignment, using the waist turning, but lacking strength in the legs, lacking a solid foundation by using pushing back and then pushing forward. Okay? Nice. Release. Okay. Do you feel the legs? If the answer is yes, then you are doing it correctly, okay? The balance that we get from Tai Chi comes from this strength in the legs. Where do we get the strength from? Feeling connected to the ground and using intention, using that spring action of push and support, okay? So we want to focus in on that, but right now we're going to enjoy the flow of the arms a little bit. We're going to let go of that tension, okay? So remember, we've been working on rollback, press, and push, right? So let's take a moment to enjoy the flow. Let's just do the arms for a second. So starting in rollback, we have that right hand up and that left palm is to the sky. Remember, not too much space between the arms. We want to imagine it's a wrist here and an elbow here. This just gives us the distance, okay? So here, beautiful. Now we go from corner. Remember, everything, we're in our own little box. We go from our right corner and we turn and go down a little bit to that left corner. Perfect. So that's it. Roll back. We just turn. Now, where does that turn come from? Waist turning, right? So the hips can stay in one direction, but the waist leads that movement. So we want to feel turning, turning. And at the end, there's a little up and down. Okay? So it's not just a static, it's a little bit of movement. Now, it's not too much. You know, we're not going to do huge, but feel that turn. Feel the waist leading and controlling roll back. Roll back. Nice. Okay? So next we have press and push. Now those are the easier movements of grasping the bird's tail. So we go from roll back and we touch the left palm to the right forearm. So we're going to turn over that left palm and we're going to bend that right arm and touch. See how the waist led that movement? So we go from roll back and we turn over, watch, waist to touch. And then what's press? Press is easy, right? We just expand out. Okay, so we go up in space. Okay, push, flatten, come over a ball, and push. Okay, all right, we're gonna do that a bunch, okay? So roll back, right palm seated, left palm to the sky, turn. Okay, sit up that left palm, bend that right elbow and bring it together. And then press. Now here, waist. Turn everything to straight. Come back over a ball, relax. Remember, elbows are pointed to the corners, and then we push. Okay, ready? We're gonna do it 2 more times. Roll back, left palm to the sky, right hand seated. Use your waist, turn. Press, touching the forearm. Expand out. Turn from your waist, flatten the arms. Come back over that ball, sit up the palms, chest level, not too low, and then push shoulder height. Ready? 1 more, just arms. Roll back, turn, touch for press, expand out, square up, and push. All right, so now we're feeling really good, right? We got that flow in with the arms. Now I want you to take push and support from our bow stance practice that we just did and include that with the arm movements, okay? So remember, Tai Chi is coordinating all parts of your body, okay? This is the general, telling the troops, the limbs, where to go, okay? So that's our goal, is how can we combine everything together? You ready? Let's do it. So I'm going to turn and face the side direction so that we can all move in the same way. Remember, we're in our own little box. We're going to shift to the right and turn and open our left toes, 45 degrees. Sink down, step out, move forward. Now I want you to check before we get moving. Can you shift back and pick up? If it was difficult, step a little bit smaller, okay? The goal is to have a natural bow stance. Now before we add in those arms, feel push and support versus up and down, forward and back like this. Think about level. You chose the level you sunk down to and stay at that level. Stay at that level, okay? All right, roll back. We start with our weight forward, right palm to the corner in our own little square box to the corner. Left palms to the sky. Torso is straight. Now we're going to turn everything to that corner as we shift back. Nice. Now left palm to right forearm. Everything arrives together. Turn from your waist, not your hips, to square up the shoulders. Now come back over that ball, sit up the palms, and then push. Okay, check. Not higher than your shoulders, right? Relaxed. Are you leaning? And are your hips neutral? Okay, let's do it again. So, right hand to the corner, left palm to the sky. Shift and turn. Touch for press, close in, and expand out. Turn and open, then over the ball, and push. Okay, sit up that right palm. We're going right back, roll back. Okay, turn. Yes, okay, press, touch, expand out, flatten those arms, over a ball, and we push. Are we feeling more confident? Do we get to feel more relaxed in our upper body? That's the goal, okay? So we have 3 parts we're putting together always, okay? Strong lower body, right? Feeling that connection to the ground with our level hips. Flexible middle body, right? Turning from our waist. And then what's up top? Light and airy arms, okay? So we want to feel light up top. So essentially, like a pyramid, right? You're strong and stable down below and then building that lightness through the upper body, all right? So let's practice just a few more times. I want you to think about these things. Try to find that pyramid of lightness at top and heavy down below, all right? So I'm going to switch it up for you guys. We're going to turn the other direction so that you can see the arms from another direction, okay? So same thing as before, just facing the opposite way. This also challenges our brain, okay? So shifting to the right, turn to the left. Sink down and step out. And check your stance. Can you shift back and pick up? This is going to be a really good exercise. If you know any of the traditional forms, whenever you practice in a new space, you have to really think about the movements that are coming next so that you don't end up in a weird direction. So that's what we're doing right now, is we're challenging our brains to the next level. So forward and back, feel, push and support. So not just up and down, okay? As we're here, lower back is relaxed. So we're not here. We're not doing this. This is going to create a lot of tension here. Think about drawing those abs in a little bit, okay? You have to engage the core. Now, it's not like an ab crunch exercise that we're tightening so much, but we have to use the belly and the abs to tuck the waist or lower back down, okay? We're finding that space through the spine, and we're keeping it as we move forward and back in this area. We're keeping those knees in line, okay? Now, let's go to roll back, press, and push. Right hand is seated to the corner. Left palm is to the sky. Beautiful. Shift back and turn. Now, left palm to right forearm. Close in. Expand out. Use your waist, palms face down, arms extended out. Back over that ball, sit up the palms, and push. Feeling better now, right? Let's do it again. So right hand to the corner, left palm to the sky. Lightness, find just enough energy to hold up the arms. That's it. Then turn. Press. Now use legs, waist, arms. Waist turning, square up the shoulders. Push from those legs and support, moving back. Now, if I said stop, where are you? Is everything halfway? Are we extended one direction or the other? Try to make it all arrive together. So come back for push, slow it down, and have everything stop at the same time. How'd we do? When we are finally getting everything to stop at the same point, that is the magic, okay? That's when you see someone practicing and you're like, wow, it looks so smooth, okay? So how do we get there? We have to learn this push and support, okay? This is everything in our practice, okay? This controls our entire body in so many ways. That energy starts from the legs, it travels through the spine, and then out to the hands and fingers. But we have to slow this down enough that this big arm movement from here to here will time up with this tiny leg movement, right? Our knees going this far, our arms are going this far, okay? So we have to slow it down and think building strength flexibility, and lightness all together, okay? This right here is the magic. Yes. Yes. Okay? So, we're going to dive into a little bit of new things with our ward-offs today. So we've done this before, but remember, I want you to be able to have an at-home practice. I want you to be able to flow through this sequence called grasping the bird's tail and truly enjoy it to the fullest, okay? Because if you step into any other yang-style Tai Chi class, this is a building block. So that if they're ever practicing a form and you are doing it with them, you get to this sequence of 4 movements and you're like, yes, I can relax my brain for a moment. All right, that's the goal. So today we're going to work on ward off. Bringing a smile to your face is why I'm here, okay? So remember our hold or hug a ball kind of thing? From here, we just use our elbows and our shoulders, right? And we just open and we close. Okay, this is a lot of our Tai Chi practice, open and close. And then what you're going to hear is close and step. Okay, so we close the arms as we step out. Okay, so this is what we're going to be building on. So we have this position where we have our top arm close in, and you're going to see this in our forms practice. But today we're going to work on ward off. So we're going to bring that arm from here and we're going to reach it out just a little bit, okay? So it's going to reach and then come in. And then you're going to reach out, okay? So what's the difference if I'm looking towards the screen for a second, okay? It's just being here versus here, okay? So we want to make sure that we're reaching out, okay? Now, we're not here for martial arts. But that's the meaning, is reaching and connecting out, okay? Instead of reaching and being in here. So we're out here, okay? So mirroring each other, right arms on top. Same exact thing as open and close, except we're reaching out. And then we're going to open, and then we're going to reach out, okay? So pretty simple. We want to make sure that top arm is always facing down to show that it's grabbing, and that bottom arm, the right arm in this case, is facing the sky. Now, does this feel familiar? Press, right? We have that same arm shape, okay? So remember, we've talked about this before. When we first get in a car, you have all these different things that you have to do and you have to check and what's going on, and then you have all these different combinations of it for while you're driving. Tai Chi is the same thing. Okay, we have all these little different pieces in different combinations. So we're trying to put them all together. This should start to feel familiar. Okay, this bended arm with the palm to the sky. Both sides will start to feel familiar. Okay, we want to get more comfortable with this. Now, what's the big thing to watch out for? Don't bend that wrist. Okay, we want to keep that energy in line, no matter which side it is. We're keeping that energy flowing through the fingers, okay? So bring that left arm on top, right arm underneath, open, and then close. Yes. So open and close, okay? So we actually have ward off left and ward off right in grasping the bird's tail. Today we're going to focus on ward off right. So that means we're going to start with our right arm underneath. And we're going to go up and down. Now, getting in the theme of things, remember kind of pieces that we're always working on? Center of the forearm is one of them. So where is our left palm going to pass? Center of the right forearm. Okay, so moving back, up and down. Okay, so right arm is just hinging, right? It's just going up and down. Left palm is pressing. It's the two together. Remember, one doesn't work without the other, right? Tai Chi, yin and yang, up and down, left and right, all working in harmony, okay? Now things to watch out for. When we're here, drop those elbows down. Remember, we always have a little weight pulling from our elbows, okay? This allows the shoulders to relax down. This allows, you'll even see me sometimes. I'm always working to get better. 20 years in, I still am working on things, okay? Check. Elbows sinking down, okay? This is gonna help with energy. So up and down, up and down. Now, how do we know that we're in the right position? Again, you're not here for martial arts, but we know what the distance is from our wrist to our elbow, right? You know, because you can look at your own body. This position should be a wrist is in your hand and you have an elbow here. So this again tells us our fingertips point to the strongest part on our arm right here, forearm center, and we're not going to be down here. We're going to be close enough that we could have a wrist here and an elbow here. Okay? This is so important. All right? Now the next thing, when we're doing these movements, it's the same thing with press. Remember, press is here, right? We just did press. What's the difference from press to ward off? Well, the right arm doesn't change. The only thing that's going to change, you're going to separate that left palm, okay? So we're here versus here. Crazy, right? So those pieces are coming together. So we're getting these things that are going to be similar and then just in new combinations, okay? So for ward off right, we start with that left arm on top and the right arm's underneath. And we go up and down, okay? So it's just up and down, okay? Yep, left arm's on top, palm facing down, right arms to the sky. And we go up and down. Yes. And just remember that left palm is going to stay kind of close to that right forearm, okay? So that means we're not going to go too low, all right? So we're thinking up and down. And we're just going up and down. Yes, that's it. Up and down, okay? Now, how do you know you're in the right position? Again, if we were doing this with our bow stance, if we step out for a bow stance, in our final position, in press, what's the requirement? Elbow and knee in line. Ward off right, press. Ward off, press. Okay? Same things, right? Just different methods to get there, okay? So if we reach that left arm out, reach it out, right arm's bent underneath, and we go up and down together. And reverse it. Just come back. Up and down. Okay? So this is what we're working on. Up and down arrive together. Up and down. Okay? This is the magic. Legs pushing, arms up and down. Now I will tell you, if you ever try to use this movement, if you're just doing this, or you're just here and you're just doing this, it's not going to work. We have to slowly do up and down together. Up and down together. All right? This is the goal. Now I'm going to show you what's next. Okay? How do we connect this? All right? Now, next session, we are going to focus on connecting these movements again and again and again. Okay? Because remember, grasping the bird's tail is seen over and over again in every yang style Tai Chi form. Okay? So I'm going to show you up close first, and then I'm going to show you in the bow stance. So we have done today, ward off right. Okay? Next is connecting roll back. Then we have press. And then we have push. all of those movements together make up grasping the bird's tail. So again, just to show you with the footwork, we have ward off, right, roll back, waist turning, press, and push, right? So this is made up of one move, okay? They always come together. If I had another person in this room, it would be the most amazing thing to show you, okay? I will at some point show everyone a video clip so that you can see what it is together, because there is a reason behind these movements being together. If we use one and that technique doesn't work, then we could use the next technique. That doesn't work, then we can use the next technique, okay? Tai Chi is known for its health and wellness benefits. That is because of the alignment, because of the healing power of our body when we draw this energy together and through our entire body. This alignment is learned through knowing meaning and knowing kind of Kodak moments within the movements. Knowing the meaning over a video helps a lot, okay? Even though we're never gonna use this as a martial art, just knowing where our body should be in three-dimensional space is the hardest part of learning over video. So understanding why we're doing what we're doing does help with that, okay? So before we close this session, we did a lot of ward off. I just want to flow, roll back, press, push, roll back, press, push again and again to just enjoy the movement. Now your goal during this session right here, this section, is to just find your flow. I want you to let go of those Kodak moments, let your body do what it's going to do, and just enjoy Tai Chi. Remember, we play Tai Chi, right? We don't just practice Tai Chi. We play Tai Chi. So it should bring a smile to your face, and we should just enjoy the flow, okay? So we'll get a good bow stance to start, just because that's the foundation for our whole practice. Turning that left foot open and then stepping out. Make sure you can pick up, okay? Back. All right, so roll back, right palm seated, left palm to the sky. I want you to just flow. Feel that beautiful turn. Then just turn and connect, and big expansion out. And then open up those arms and come back. Do you see me exaggerating a little bit? I want you to feel the flow, okay? So roll back. Big turn. Press. Expand out. And then push. Just coming over and expanding out. Let's do it again. Roll back. Big turn. Press. And then push. Do you feel the difference in your body when you let go? Okay? So we work on all these details. So now we can just relax. Relax, let go. We think about the details so that we can eventually just look at the big picture. Okay? So the goal in Tai Chi is to know the details, but you see the big picture. It's like if you're looking at a space, it's the same thing with the looking in our practice, okay? When we're doing roll back, the looking direction is towards that right palm. But am I looking at my right palm and forearm area the whole time? I'm not honing in on the details. I'm looking in the overall space. I have a soft gaze, just looking. And then press is the same thing. I'm not looking down here. I'm looking ahead, soft gaze, okay? So we want to know, but we also want to see everything, okay? So that's going to be kind of your mission this week, is to practice with the big picture, okay? To know all of the little details we have been working on, and to relax and try to enjoy playing Tai Chi, okay? All right, everyone. Yes, great session today. Thank you.